Welcome to Comics, Games, and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games, and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
And all I want to say is that our flag is meant to be only flown in one direction. We don't have one of these mirror image flags. It doesn't matter which way you fly it. It's the same either way. We don't belong to the Union, Jack. This is Comicsgate tonight. No, sorry, wrong background. I'll get to that. That's coming. Keep an eye out for it. It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Hi, I'm RJ Carter at criticalblast.com. And tonight we are going to delve back once more into the world of crowdfunded comics. And we're talking with somebody we've had on before, but now he's moving forward. He's actually launched the comic. We are, of course, talking about Aria Black and Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space. Long title, cool character. How you doing, Aria?
Yeah, nice to be back on the show, RJ. Thank you for having me.
So you kicked this off yesterday, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. He's got good momentum. It's tracking perfectly to where we can get this pushed over the finish line on the show, and then he'll be back, and I'll feel like I did something. And damn it, if you just didn't, exceed all expectations and get back fully funded early.
Look at that. That looks so beautiful. $3,000. That looks good. That looks good. That makes me a happy man.
Yeah, if I had $3,000, I'd be happy too. So that's 111% of your initial goal. So what was this in pounds? What's the round number?
So 2,000. It was a £2,000 goal, and currently we are sitting at £2,222. So all twos.
Nice. Well, we're going to break that tonight. We're going to get some numbers moving on this tonight. So I feel like this is going to be remedial comics for us again, because we've talked about your character before. But, it's always the off chance now there's going to be people here who don't know who Tailless is, or the extensive and interesting history of his evolution over the years. And he has evolved. And I hope that page exists somewhere, because I thought that was a really cool.
I sort of recreated it for the live campaign. We can take a look at it in a bit. But yeah, so what RJ's hinting at there is, in this Tailless Collected Edition, which is the product I've got on screen here, there's sort of two halves to the book. So the first half is all the awesome story content, which is made up of, now because we hit the goal, 7 whole mini comics, which are all separate episodic style adventures for Tailless, like short glimpses into the universe of Tailless, where he fights different bad guys in each episode. And there's no one through storyline. This was the comic I made to learn how to create comics. So there is a lot of experimentation. You're going to see a lot of progress from issue 1 through to issue 7. And what you're going to get is some really good action, sci-fi, nostalgia vibes from this book. And then that's just the first half. The second half is the bonus material section, where this is a funny case. I've actually kept every single drawing, every single story idea, everything that's ever gone into the creation of Tailless. I've kept it all. It's in a big fat folder in my wardrobe, taking up so much room. I've got to scan it all, and it's all going to go into the bonus material section, which means you're going to see the complete evolution of Tailless as a character and as a property. You're going to see the weird skinny cat he started off as, all the changes through until he became this huge He-Man character wearing spandex with this crazy hot girlfriend and a giant muscular bird as a sidekick.
Yeah, and it's not so much that your art improved. It did. Don't get me wrong. Your art improved every time. But the evolution of Talos as a character is almost a microcosm of the decades of comics history. Because he'll look like he goes from looking like an early Garfield to a Klondike cat to like if you said, "Hey, Rob Liefeld, can you draw me a space cat?" And throw the pouches and muscles on it. So it was really cool watching that flow go across the page like that. And
that's it. He started out like the earliest ideas I had for him was he was going to be like a newspaper style comic, like Garfield, for example, and or Calvin and Hobbes. That was something I was reading at the time. Calvin and Hobbes,
good stuff.
Yeah, which I really love. I love that style, but it's fun, but it's not me. What I love is the whole like 90s action kind of vibes, like Thundercats, X-Men animated series, all that good stuff. And there's a very clear point in sort of the development of Talos where I discovered, I rediscovered the things that I like the most, like the X-Men animated series and like 90s comic books. And you can see that in the story as you're reading it along. There's a very clear point in which, all the pieces fall into place and Talos starts becoming this more complete character.
I think this image I'm seeing here at the very top of the campaign too is the first time I've seen another of Talos' species, or at least I'm assuming that she is this sort of Boris Vallejo tribute picture you've got going here.
Yeah. So like if you think of the Talos universe as like the Star Wars universe, in that there's human beings, there's like these weird looking alien guys, but they're all aliens. The human beings are just aliens that happen to look like human beings, if you get me. Sure. So that concept exists in the Talos universe. So Talos is just an alien that happens to look like a cat, and then the same for his love interest Adelaide, who he's got in his arms there. And then the same goes for Jet, but he's a bird. So he's
a big bird.
Yeah.
He's a big muscle bound bird. So I want to take a second to say hi to the chat. We have the Graphic Goose out here. Welcome, Graphic Goose. Hope we see more of you. Will from Creators Outlet, all hail. Nicholas Gear has just joined the chat. Welcome. Glad to see everybody here.
Yeah, you know what? Graphic Goose and Creators Outlet have basically been hitting up every single stream I've been on ever since we launched yesterday. So cheers, guys.
Well, if they back every single time, then buy them a pint the next time you see them.
You hear that, guys? Do what RJ says.
Yeah. Just throw money at it every single time you see it. You have a video, and it's right here. I've stolen it, and I'm going to play a much cleaner version. So if you have not yet seen what Talos is all about, here is the elevator pitch. Let's take a look.
Let's do it.
Evil lurks in the darkest corners of outer space. The fate of the galaxy lies in the balance. But have no fear, adventurer. Introducing the 6-foot-tall, spandex-clad, intergalactic vigilante known as Tailless. Join Tailless, his sidekick Jet, and his fiery love interest Adelaide as they answer the call to defend the galaxy. Does Tailless have what it takes to save the day? Find out in The Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space Collected Edition. Now, for the first time ever, you can get your hands on all things Tailless. 6 short mini-comic adventures in one book. In each new adventure, Tailless faces off against a new and ever more dangerous threat. Discover the origins of Tailless in the bonus material section. An expansive deep dive into the character's creation, featuring every single image, story, and fan art of Tailless ever created. What are you waiting for? The Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space Collected Edition is out now, only on Indiegogo. back the hottest crowdfunded comic of the year. Adventure lies in your hands.
You have a really good American accent when you try.
Yeah. So I could not do that even if I tried. You know what? Everyone is asking me for links to that guy's Fiverr account. So yeah, if anyone wants to know, just hit me up. I'll send you the link. And let me say hello to Frog G as well. He's been following me around ever since we launched. So thanks. Good to see you. Yeah.
Always good to see Frog G hop in. See what I did there? It's a talent. No,
however do you do it, sir?
Herwenberg is here too. Again, he is our wrench. So he is, always throwing the links out in the chat for people to follow. If you happen to miss his chat links, you can always, if you're watching on the replay and the chat's not playing, just right below the picture here, we always put the link in. You're welcome to click on the link during the live stream. It won't take you away. It'll open in a whole new window and everything. So you can buy and still listen. We wouldn't want you to miss out on a second of everything that Aria will have to tell you about Tailless.
Oh yes.
So this is a cool looking cover here, by the way. This is this wraparound cover. How many pages are going to fit in this thing? This is
yeah. So we're looking at approximately 50 pages of story content. So and that could go up because we have stretch goals to unlock extra pages to add to the mini comics. So we could have over 50 pages of story content alone. And we are actually, because we hit the first stretch goal, which is unlocking the 7th mini comic. So we have over 50 pages as standard. And then add to that 20 or 30 pages of bonus material. So we're going to have an 80-page comic on our hands. So yeah, this is going to be a nice chunky little book to go on your shelf. It's going to look amazing, especially with that wraparound cover.
Oh yeah. So, and probably going to have prestige format, so a flat spine, not stapled, not saddle.
Yeah. It'll be a soft cover book, but it will have the square flat spine. So yeah, this is really because I've released Tailless before as floppies, with the spine, with the stapled spine. This is the premium version of that product. So yeah, it'll be a soft cover but square spine on that.
Gotcha. So the featured tier on this one, the featured tier, whatever. It's the here's where everything lies. And I'm seeing the name here, by the way, that I happen to I know that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I got some good names helping me out in this campaign.
Yes, you do. I'm reading further. I know that guy too. I mean, everybody knows Preston Acevedo, but I'm thinking, not enough people know Max Hedstrom as of yet, but they should.
No. Max is an undiscovered diamond. He is amazing. Right. See, the thing is, I've got 5 trading cards available on this campaign, and I asked only my favorite artists from CG to do the artwork for me. So Preston Acevedo, Max Hedstrom, Chubb, and we've got the awesome Mike from Life on Cora doing a trading card.
Oh, Mike Jimmy, yes.
Yeah, Mike Jimmy. Those 4 guys are absolutely amazing. And this bundle pack is really cool. Like, number 1, you're going to get the items on this tier at a massive discount compared to if you just buy them on the individual tiers. So you're actually saving about £5 or £6. I don't remember exactly because, my calculation book is upstairs, but £5 or £6 saving on this. And on top of that saving, you're going to get 2 trading cards and 2 posters with artwork by Preston Acevedo and artwork by Max Hedstrom. And these trading cards and posters are exclusive to the bundle tier. These won't be included with the individual tiers.
So these are only going to be on the bundled tier then. So you can't get an add-on.
I've got a little graphic further down the page which explains where you can get the various trading cards. So there are trading cards available for the individual tiers, but they're different. Those are exclusive to the bundle, basically.
Okay, so that's a good way to get people to go to the bundle because otherwise it'd be tempting to split it up and say, well, I'll just get it without this stuff.
Yeah, see, the way to get everything on this campaign, if you're a completionist or a collector, the way to do it is you would have signed up previously. We had over 130 sign-ups, closer to 140, I think. So that's brilliant. I'm really glad we got so much support before we even launched. But if you're one of those lucky guys, you would have signed up, back the bundle tier, and then include the add-ons once you've selected that one. So, and that's how you get everything on this campaign. But of course, not everyone wants to do that. There are other options for you.
Sure.
There's plenty of individual, like single tiers where you can get the items separately.
So, and one of those items here is, in case people saw the little guy here, is this Keshi tailless?
Keshi tailless. Look, I have the little guy right here, the 2-inch tall defender.
Let me give you full screen.
Yeah, there he is. You see, mine is missing a finger because he was the dummy I used for the trailer. And if you look at the Keshi tailless trailer, the very first shot where I slam him down on the table, he's missing his finger because the time before that I did it badly and I slammed him down right on his face, snapped the finger off. So that one's mine now. That one will be going
so
out the back.
Don't face slam your Keshi figure when you get it, folks. Yeah, so that's 3D printed, I'm guessing, not or is it molded?
This one is 3D printed because like the first batch I got, you consider them like the test run, the proof of concept kind of thing. The figures this is based on are muscle figures, which are 2-inch little Keshi figures, they started in Japan, but then in the 80s they got big in the United States, and that's where you got TV shows like Ultimate Muscle is from those Japanese Keshi figures. So that's what he's based on, and he's perfect size and scale to fit in with anyone's collection.
Nice.
And so yeah, but they're made out of this like gummy rubber material, and obviously this is 3D printed, so it's
gonna be harder. Sure.
Yeah, it's solid and obviously somewhat brittle. Like you have to be kind of careful with it. But we're doing really well as far as people backing. They haven't backed the individual yet, but we had a Red Valkyrie tier on that was featured before we did this show. It expired today because it was only on for 24 hours, and we did loads on that one, and they all included the Keshi figure. And we've got 8 claimed already on the current feature tier, which means we're doing really well. And if this traction continues and we end up getting a high amount of orders for Keshi tailless, I'm gonna sit down with my guy Graphite Toys, and we're gonna see if we can stretch to have this made out of the actual rubber material that the actual figures are made out of.
Oh, that would be nice. So they'd even be more authentic. So
yeah, exactly. It would be amazing because, like, number one, it would be more durable. Like, there's no chance of it breaking in the package if it's made out of rubber. And number two, it's gonna feel right. There's like I'm an action figure guy, and the sort of like when you open a newsprint comic book and you can smell the newsprint, like
yes,
it feels like a comic book. Same thing for the action figure. It doesn't feel like if this was in rubber, it would feel perfect, 100%. It would be, the next best thing to authentic muscle figures.
Now, were the authentic were the muscle figures, were they all one color when they came out? Because I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. So the originals are all like this fleshy pink kind of color. So, but then like in the late 80s, early 90s, I think it was Hasbro who owned the property. They started like re-releasing the same figures in different colors. And those were never popular, so there are like multicolored ones that exist. But how cool would it be for like most people have the fleshy colored ones? They're the standard. Like if you've got a cool collection of those, this bright blue guy will stand out like a charm in your collection. You can put him front and center, and he will both look right at home in your collection and stand out as a unique piece. Yeah. That's exactly
I just found them. So yeah, they were all just kind of one solid flesh color, weren't they?
Yeah, that's it. And they were like cheap figures back in the day, just these cheapy little Japanese collection items. But nowadays they're actually quite expensive. They're hard to get hold of.
I bet.
Yeah.
And that was when I looked up, it was muscle. It stood for something. It looked like it was M.U. like the man from Uncle. kind of thing. It's an acronym. Well, that's really cool. So yeah, if you could get that come out in the rubber version and in the fleshy colored version instead of blue, that would definitely make it fit right in with your collection if you've got those.
Oh no! There's no way we're doing a flashy colored tailless. That would look weird to me. The idea is I want to do more of these eventually. Like I want to do a jet next, and he would be green, for example, and then I want to do the sirens, who are the demon ladies you see on screen, and they would look beautiful in a purple. And maybe eventually make some sort of game or something out of these little figures.
Oh, very nice.
Because as much as I'm a comic book fan, I'm also I'm really big into my action figure collecting. So I want to explore both avenues eventually of doing the action figure thing.
Yeah, and if you turn it into a tabletop game, we talk all the time about people making good, six figures young lady on a comic book.
Yeah.
Those tabletop people on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, they're looking at us like we're running a yard sale when we're doing comic books, because they're like, yeah, I passed six figures opening day. There's huge money in the tabletop gaming market.
Exactly. There's for a good example, like I was telling you before the show, like if I want to go to my local comic book shop, is in the next city over for me. But we have local gaming shops just on the high street. So yeah, a good example of that.
Yeah. So if you just want the Keshi Tailless figure, why wouldn't you want the comic book? I don't know. But you can get it for $17, 12 pounds. What you want is, at the very minimum, what you want is this right here. You want the book.
Yeah.
$28, and you'll get both the digital PDF and the paper, hard copy.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't believe in doing. I'm a collector, so I don't like the idea of just digital on its own tier. But I know there's a place for it. Like you can't take your collection with you when you go on holiday, for example. So if you back a physical, you will get the digital as well.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of people who, Robert Roberts, I don't think he's in the chat right now, but he's here frequently. He's working extended time for like months at a time in the tundra of Canada, working oil pipelines.
Yeah.
And he can't take his long white boxes with him. He wants something to read, so he always gets the digital version. He's got something new to read there.
Oh, I hope he's reading Tailless in the tundra. That would be really cool.
That would be nice, Robert. I hope you are listening. We're always talking about you. So we take a jump from the collected edition to the original art. Now this price jumps, but you're dealing with original art. It should.
Yeah, we've already sold 3 of this tier, and I'm so pleased to see this artwork go out the door.
And you're selling. You probably only had 41 pages of story to begin with, right? Or close to that?
No, like currently, it's hard to think off the top of my head, but I reserved 4 pages total. That's it, only 4 pages, because I'm sending them to my to the artists who helped me out on this campaign with the trading cards as a thank you for their support getting this together. But other than that, those 4, everything else is on the table, because it's only sitting in my wardrobe in a drawer. I would much rather it be in like people's collections or hanging on their walls or whatever. Yeah. So every other piece is up for grabs, and that includes double page spreads and also the single issue covers of the individual mini comics. So I'm not going to charge any extra for those, like special pages or double pages, and I'm not going to sell you half a page. Who would want that?
So you might buy a double page spread and pay just as much as the guy who bought a single page.
Yeah. But the thing is, you will have your choice, and I'll be off. First come, first serve. Everyone will get their choice of pages, and you know what? If we, in the unlikely event we sell out of those 41, I'll add the next 8 or 9 pages, whatever there is, for the book, the mini comic that I haven't drawn yet, which is the one we just unlocked.
Okay. I hope at the very least you're making sure that you reserve 1 copy of the printed book to save for your mathematics professor, who on whose test you drew the first Tailless. But by the way, this is what I went off and did.
No. Forget that guy. I don't care. I didn't care about maths enough to learn my teacher's name. So.
Oh, okay. I was just laughing at the story where you looked at the first question, looked at the second question, started drawing a comic book.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I spent every lesson drawing, so what else was I going to do in the final test, you know? Hey, it worked out because we just crossed $3,000 in, 16 hours. So
Exactly. So, $3,000 in 5 years. I don't know how long it was since you took the test, but
well, okay, if you put it like that, not so impressive.
but it's a start. It's there's no overnight success story that didn't have 10 years in the making.
Yeah, yeah.
So hopefully this will be one of them. For $151, you can get the 8x11 original art by Max Hedstrom. Max Hedstrom's the guy who did Rokan, if you guys are not familiar with his work yet. First thing comes to mind when I think Max Hedstrom is that gorgeous freaking turtle picture that he's got in Rokan.
Yes.
I'm like, that deserves to be on black velvet and sold, and prints sold in every head shop around the world.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Other artists out there or other creators who are thinking about needing an artist soon, you better snap up Max while you have a chance. Otherwise, I'm gonna do it and get him working on the Tailless books, because his Tailless piece looks incredible. It's absolutely amazing. I should say the Max tier and the Preston tier, they will be shipped out by the respective artists, not by me, because they've got their pieces. But the Chubb artwork that's sold already, and then any Aria Black artwork, I'll be sending that myself.
Very nice, very nice. You've learned how you did this to learn how to make a comic book.
Yeah, exactly. So
you've drawn one, you've made one.
Yeah, perfect. And the way I'm seeing this now is, now that once this book is out and in people's hands, I've got a blank slate to start from. This is at that point, my training wheels are off, and you can see, I'll be the best I could possibly, be with 2 or 3 years experience. And, once this book is out, blank slate, I'm going to go for it full throttle on the first full-size Tailless issue.
I was going to say, so what does that mean? Is it full one big Tailless, or are we going to get more?
Yeah. So you're going to be able to tell going into this, when you start reading this book, that in issue 1, I had a very different idea of how sort of the whole Tailless property worked than I do in issue 7, okay? And issue 7 is actually going to be a prequel book to the first full-size Tailless issue, because now, over the years, I've got the story down. I've got a good long-form story in my head that I'm just waiting to put onto paper. So the prequel book is going to be your first insight into it, into the first big Tailless story. So yeah.
All right, we got the Preston Acevedo original art. Now these are these weren't interior pages. These are like alternate covers that they did.
No, these are the trading card art. So if you scroll down just a tiny bit, you can see the all the trading cards right there.
Right here.
So we've got the sign-up exclusive, which was drawn by Chubb, the guy who created Mary Boys. And unfortunately, at this point, if you didn't sign up, you're not getting that card. But for the 130 plus people who did, you're going to get that for absolutely free when you back any tier. Also, all these cards have a poster with the same artwork on it. So in whatever tier you get the card, you will also get a poster. So you can enjoy the artwork, up close at bigger size. So yeah, you got the sign-up exclusive. You got the 2 featured tier cards, which are Preston and Max Hedstrom. So you can only get those when you back the featured tier. You've got the Keshi Tailless card, which is available when you back either the standalone Keshi tier or the featured tier, which has Keshi involved. So any tier that has the figure, you'll get the card. Just because, it's an arty toy. It's expensive for what it is. It is cheaper in the bundle because you get a discount on that. But just to add a little bit of extra value to the product, you're going to get that really cool trading card with it. And
then you've got looks like a crossover, CGEU crossover here for Life on Korra. So how is that working out?
So
What's the
it's
logistics
doing
of that?
really well. It's gone to the point now where if you type in Tailless on Indiegogo, Life on Quora pops up right next to it. Or if
I
you type
noticed
in
that.
Quora,
I did that just a minute ago.
yeah. They're coming up right next. Search either campaign and they'll both come up, which is really cool. It shows that this sort of like cross promotion can really work because we're both getting backers now, from association. So if you back both campaigns, Life on Quora and The Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space, you're going to receive a Life on Quora trading card and post it. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see them a little bit better because there's a better graphic for there. So yeah, you're going to get the trading card in your Tailless package and you'll get the poster in your Life on Quora package. So you back both, you will get both products eventually.
Nicely done. And here we got the so a little bit better view of some of the interiors. Now this is going to be a black and white book inside, right? It's not.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, this is going to be color.
Fully colored. This is just the original art that is available for purchase, or an example of it. So yeah, actually, issues 1 through 4 are going to be colored entirely by myself, because that's just the way I was doing it. And you're going to see, like in everything, a progression over however long it took me to do 4 issues. But I am not a colorist by any means. I'm definitely, pencils and inks. I'm the line art guy. I'm the story guy. That's what I'm good at. But recently we've discovered my girlfriend is really good at coloring. And I mean, really good. She is way above average for, someone who has never done it before. She's brilliant. And I've just been thinking to myself all week, like, where has this been for the past 600 years? So, the 3 bonus issues that are going to be included in this, they're all going to be colored by Neve. And trust me, you'll thank me for it. She's brilliant. Actually, she colored 2 of the trading cards as well. She colored the Preston card and she colored the Life on Quora card. So if you need any reassurance, the Quora card and the Preston Acevedo card.
Those are gorgeous. She nailed Quora.
Yeah. She did a really good job. And you know what? It's just all sort of snapped in the past week. She just figured it out. Something clicked, and
look at that. You've got
the hidden talent.
You've grown your comic publishing empire by 1 with talent hidden right under your nose.
We have turned the house into a little sweatshop. Seriously, wait till we got to fulfill. We're going to turn this whole place into a production line.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. With stretch goals here, we are looking at. Did we see all the tiers? I think I missed one. Nope. Gone.
I think we
gone.
got it.
Yeah, we've done it. You can get the original wraparound cover that you drew for $482, 350 pounds.
Yeah, the only other tiers are the add-ons if you want to check those out.
Yeah, they'll be showing up here shortly, right after the stretch goals.
Okay. Well, they're not.
No, they won't.
Screen. You'd have to click further on the.
I'll get them up here in a second. I'll just click through.
Stretch. I've got to update this already. This has only been up for a day, and we've already smashed that first stretch goal. We smashed it in 16 hours. The campaign didn't even have time to update the amount of days we were into it before we smashed the stretch goal. 16 hours. That's all it took. I went to bed and we had something like 15% to go, and then I woke up and an hour later we'd hit the goal, and I was over the moon. That means we've unlocked the 7th mini comic, which is an additional 8 pages of story. We're up to over 50 pages. Don't ask me for the exact number because you know what I'm like with numbers.
It's going to grow. Yeah.
But then you can see every £1,000 we hit, then we're going to unlock extra pages to add. So like the next one is the Not Daredevil Ashcan, which is only 4 pages currently. But I've got some cool ideas on how to extend this book and maybe play around with some other CG UK characters. So if we hit that 3,000, I'm going to add 4 pages of story to that. And then the next one, issue 1 was a 6-page mini comic. And if we hit 4,000, I'm going back, I'm adding 2 pages. So we'll end up with 7 8-page mini comics.
Nice.
And
very cool.
Yeah, what's going to be really interesting about that is I'll have to try and draw like I was drawing in the very first comic to make it seem seamless, And I think that's going to be both a very fun and extremely challenging practice for me to do as an artist, you know?
Yeah, I really I really like this idea that you've done with the crossover with Life on Korra, and I'd like to see more CGUK and CGUE or EU. And, yeah, UE letters. They're not my strong suit. And just crowdfunded titles in general do more cross promotion like that. I've always thought that there should be something with the trading cards to make it a chase kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now you've got the chase thing going here because you got to get one thing from him and the other one from yours. So that's a step in the right direction. But I'm like, what if everybody had a trading card that made a set? What if it made like a 3x3 picture when you put it in the sleeve of all the different characters, and you had like, oh, I've got Tailless and I've got Korra, but there's 7 other cards that make up this puzzle picture, and I've got to go to these 7 other campaigns and back them.
That would be really cool. It would require a whole lot of synchronization and planning ahead, but that would be awesome.
Yeah, because you'd want, they wouldn't all have to run simultaneously, but they'd have to run, relatively close to each other so that people aren't, I don't know, you could run up through the course of a year. Get card number 1 in January, and then get card number 2 with whatever launches in February. Yeah, you could pace it out.
That's a good idea, actually.
You just have to have somebody draw the complete picture first up front, and then say, you can show the picture like in black and white, and then your card in color on top of it superimposed. So you can say, this is the card you're getting with for your puzzle in this campaign. Be sure to watch the other campaigns come. And as long as nobody jumps in front of a bus and everybody stays on the up and up and fulfills their campaign. Bob's your uncle. You've got a completed chase card, because we love the chase. Collectors have been. We do that. That's why there's back issue bins and baseball card shops.
Yeah, you just reminded me. I've got to update that stretch goal graphic, and I've also got to add the add-on tiers on the front page so people can see.
So so people can see what the add-ons are. We'll just click on through here, see if we can see them. Yeah, here's the add-ons. Okay.
Yeah. So I've got a double-sided poster, A2. So that's
A2 is huge.
Yeah, so 11 by 17 times 2, whatever that is.
It says 16 by 23.
Yeah, that's the one. So so it's a double-sided poster. It will be folded and will fit inside the Gemini mailers. So don't expect a rolled-up poster. I prefer the folded up ones because that's how you'd get them in the classic, out of a centerfold of a comic, So I actually like seeing the folds in posters. So you're going to get to choose, you'll have to flip the poster around, but you could even do it day by day to choose which one's on your wall, which one looks best. And but you'll get both of the Tailless wraparound covers on that. And you know what? That's pretty cheap for a poster, £4 extra.
Yeah.
If you went to HMV, for example, in the UK, you can expect to be paying £11, £12 for a poster. So that's a lot cheaper for the same product.
And you get 2 posters. So
yeah. Remember I said
buy 2 of them so you can show both.
Yeah. Exactly. Get 2 add-ons. And then that second one, the executive digital tier. So you remember I said I don't like digital on its own. And this might be a bit of a misnomer because it's not really a digital tier. It's more the USB flash drive tier. So I've got this thing. This is an example. I know it says Jeep, but imagine this says Tailless. And it's just a trading card size USB flash drive. There you go. You fold out the USB there. And yeah, this is a fully functional 2 GB memory stick or flash drive. You can see the tiny.
I removed you.
So yeah, picture this, but with custom Tailless branding on it. And I think we've sold 1 or 2 of these already. Basically, what this is like I said, a trading card size memory stick, so it's going to fit nice and flush inside the Gemini mailer, no problem. And it's gonna come preloaded with the book PDF, with a whole bunch of high quality JPEGs that you can use for your computer wallpaper or your social media, like the wraparound cover, for example, that's going to be on there. And it's also going to come with an exclusive digital pinup that will be featured nowhere else on the campaign. So this is the only place to do it. And I'm thinking I'm going to draw the ladies of Tailless. So it'll be like the sirens, those three-titted demon babes, and Adelaide, Tailless's love interest. So there is something exclusive in this. And see, the reason I say it's not a true digital tier is because it is a physical item.
Yeah.
And you can only get it when you back a physical book. So you can't get this without backing the physical. And
it's been a while since I've seen those. I used to back before people would just give you a password to a site to go get digital information about stuff. Sci-Fi Channel used to put out some of the coolest press kits, and we would get them in advance for, so we could review things before they aired for criticalblast.com. And I've got the Neverland one that they sent out for their Peter Pan story that they did. And yeah, it's a very cool credit card sized item, and you just flip that thing around, plug it in, and everything was loaded on it.
Yeah.
And, I of course cleaned it all off and began using it for my own stuff.
Exactly. That's the beauty of this tier, right? Like, it's not really a digital tier. It's just got that. It just happens to have that preloaded on here. But once you put this on your computer for the first time, you can just take all those files, dump them on your computer, and you've got yourself a fully functional USB drive then. And something I was saying, we've sold a couple of these already, not crazy numbers, but if this tier turns out to do really well, then I will upgrade this to a 4 GB version, so even more bang for your buck.
Very cool, very cool. Oh, right. So I like that you've kept it simple. There's not a whole lot of tiers on here. The tiers that are there are basically, you're getting original art. It's not if you want to get this cover and that cover and the adult cover. There's only one cover, isn't there?
That one cover took me long enough to draw. I wasn't going to do another one.
It's perfect. I like the book.
There's actually a cool story behind that cover. That's the third time I've drawn it. I drew it way back a few years ago. Like, I had the image in my head, and it wasn't like I wasn't planning to draw a cover. It just had this picture I wanted to draw with Tailless, and basically I started it and I couldn't finish it. I drew Tailless, sort of. I drew one or two of the demons and like kind of drew a mountain, but I couldn't finish it because I just did not have the artistic ability or the knowledge of how to draw the various things in it. And then a few years later, I reattempted it for a design show, and I made it my backdrop. So I redrew it, and it was a lot better. I finished the piece. It looked good. And it's actually on my Instagram if people want to check that out. But then I've redrawn it again, and it's the cover for this Tailless collected edition. And now it's so much bigger, so much more in detail. It looks like an actual comic book piece for a start. Yeah. And basically this story in much more detail is going to be included in the bonus material section, because I'm going to add in all these, these behind the scenes stories that you wouldn't get elsewhere. And I'm going to explain like how I made the progress from barely being able to draw this scene that I could see in my head to now where, I've developed so much and I can actually put pen to paper and come up with a picture at the end of it.
So why is he called Tailless?
There's another story that's going to be in the book.
Okay, because I know he doesn't have a tail, but Adelaide doesn't have a tail either.
Yeah. See, those demons they're the only characters with tails in the whole book. See, the thing with Tailless is way back when I came up with him, like I said, he was like a newspaper comic style character to start with. And the whole idea originally was that he was a thief in outer space rather than a superhero in outer space. And I had some story in my head where he lost his tail in a tragic heist gone wrong, for example. And all the other characters would call him Tailless as a sort of insult kind of thing. And like years later, the story had changed. He was no longer a thief. He was a superhero. And I found myself drawing him like more muscly and muscly and muscly, and he looked more like the Thundercats, like every time I drew him, or like He-Man, because that's the sort of thing I'm into. And the same for all his background characters. And eventually it got to the point where I realized, hang on, no one has tails in this thing, so his name doesn't make sense. But by that point, I was so far into it, I tried coming up with other names for him, like Star Cat. No, that sounds too much like Star Fox. What else can I call him? Nothing stuck, and everything I came up with just sounded wrong to me. He's been tailless for God knows how many years at that point, so it's tailless. And you know what? I think it's a cool name.
Yeah, I was looking forward to the story of how he lost his tail, because I'm like, I bet you in issue 8 we're gonna have some guy pop in there at the very end of the book, and it'll be like this like silhouetted character. It's like, finally I've tracked you down, tailless, and then you zoom in on him, and here's this big muscly guy, and hanging from his sash is this severed white tail.
You know what? The past few shows I've been on, people have been trying to give me origin stories for it. Like, it seems like there's actual intrigue into this concept. So maybe I'm gonna have to do something with it now. I'm gonna have to actually write the story of how tailless lost his tail.
Yeah, I was just thinking, some guy who's chasing him around, who's carrying the tail like a souvenir hanging on his vest or something.
I like that. You know what? You just pitched a really good story idea.
Take it and run with it. It's yours.
Okay.
Galacticat. There we go.
All right, stop giving me good ideas now, because I'm going to take them and then I'm going to get in trouble.
That's yeah, it does remind you of the I can't say it, the Kzinti from Larry Niven's Manzin Wars, which there were cats.
You know what? Now that you said Galacticat, that is like the perfect name, and I don't know why I didn't think of that.
well, Galacticat is like several planets high, and he destroys universes.
Yeah,
that's another way down the line here. I had a question and I forgot what it was, so I'm just going to assume that it wasn't that important. I will, of course, this is where I either feel good or embarrassed. I'm going to reload the screen and see what has changed, if anything, since I loaded it up before the show. Nothing has changed. I have done you no good at all. So after the streak is broken, after going on every show possible in the world and getting backer after backer, you come here and hit a dead end.
Don't say that, dude. That's doing yourself a massive injustice. I'm having fun doing these streams. I love coming on your channel. You're doing a good job for everyone in CG as a whole.
Well, people will watch the replay, and I have seen, like within an hour of the show, I've seen people, and I know that they came from our show because I go to my referrals page on Indiegogo and I see, oh, look, somebody bought this book that I just showed, but just not during the show. This is going to fulfill in December of this year, because you're pretty much done with everything. Like you said, you've been doing it for years. So
yeah, the only pages I have left to draw is that 7th mini comic that we just unlocked. And hey Pops, how's it going? So
that's the guy you got to go on. You got to go on his show.
Oh yeah. Pops was like the second to last pre-launch show I did. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely hit him up again, because we've got some more stuff to talk about now that we've actually launched. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, the delivery date. So I've got the 7th mini comic to draw now, and Neve's gonna color it for me, which takes a load off my chest. I don't have to do that anymore. So I don't have to color it, I mean. And then providing we hit the next 2 stretch goals, which I'm more than certain we will. That £3,000 stretch goal is in sights now.
Yeah,
those pages are going to add to the workload before launch. But yeah, I can see myself doing that easily before December. I am new to it. If push comes to shove and I haven't made enough progress by that time, we'll extend a little bit, but I doubt that's going to happen. December is a very nice safety net for me. I think we'll hit fulfillment by then easily.
I think so. Want to make sure that Piper, also a good show. Want to make sure she's talked to you about Monday, so that might be where we see you next.
Yeah, I messaged.
Awesome.
I set something up with Piper. I'm on one of his shows on Monday. We'll find out which show it is.
You're not going to get much sleep over the next, what, 59 days?
No. I have a show, at least one show booked every day now for the next 2.5 weeks, and most of them are US based shows, and like everyone knows I'm oh yeah, that's it. Pop in with Piper and Pops. That's what I'm on. So on Monday I'll be doing the bargain bin at 8 p.m. GMT, and then I'll be on Piper and Pops. Pop in at I think it's like 10 or 11 o'clock GMT. I'm not sure. 6 p.m. Eastern, so that will be 11 o'clock then. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I've got a show booked, at least one show every day for the next 2.5 weeks, pretty much. And I am going to be dead, but I've put in 2.5 years of work into this campaign now. I'm not going to quit now. Like, I'm in this too deep. I'm in this till the end. I'm going to shill the shit out of this book. Even if it kills me, we're going to get this. We're going to get big numbers on this book, and we will get it out to backers, and everyone's going to love it. I promise.
Yeah, 2.5 years, and you've just started. This is the book to get in on, folks. Because I can't wait to one day, and I'm already sitting here like I can't wait to see the next Tailless book, the big adventure, what you're going to do, and where it's going to go as CG and crowdfunding evolves, because I see the character, starting to cross over with other characters and other books. I see everybody's books doing that, making this one great big universe where characters pop in and out, and you have like why not a Crisis on CG UK? Why not? It can happen.
Tailless is the perfect property to cross over with other characters because he's in outer space. He's got all this crazy technology, and who's to say like planet Earth or whatever exists in Tailless's universe? He could be anywhere. Like that Life on Korra trading card. Does that mean Korra and Tailless exist in the same universe? I think so. I think that's the perfect excuse to do a crossover.
Absolutely. It would be a great crossover for this. Now, again, just throwing the ideas out. It's not UK, but it's CG Canada. George Peter Gatsis's Joe King.
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that would be a great little bump into each other kind of story, because they're also in outer space, flying in strange ships and stuff. And having
I'll tell you one that I really want to do. I am a huge fan of Don Chin's hamsters, so the radioactive black belt hamsters. And I've told him on air, like, if ever he gets the rights back to that property, please come to me first, because I'm going to pitch him the sickest Tailless hamsters crossover. I will blow his socks off. It will be epic. I really want to do something like that.
Well, maybe Dynamite will give it back to him or sell it back to him.
I'll ask really nicely.
Yes. Well, Nick, Mr. Barucci, can Dom Chin please have the hamsters back? Pretty please. We'll give you. Maybe he'll give you Beard Zerker.
Can we just have one of the hamsters? Just lend us one.
You only need one? Okay. Aria, I don't know what else to ask you about this. We are reaching the top of the hour here. So is there anything that's new about this campaign that we haven't talked about that you feel the readers need to know, the viewers need to know?
No, look, we've done a good job of going through everything. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to update this page. So you're going to, that graphic with the stretch goals, that's going to update because we smashed through that very first stretch goal. That £3,000 stretch goal is in sight. I know we can do it. At this point, now that we've funded, we've smashed the first big goal. My next goal is to up that back account more than anything. I want to get loads of eyes on this book. I want loads of copies to go out to backers. That's going to be my big goal to get that.
Yeah, a lot of people do the stretch goals based on the dollars, and you're doing the same thing. If you want to mix it up a little bit, put a stretch goal out there that says that counts backers, 100 backers, and we'll do this.
That's what Life on Korra has done. All his stretch goals are pretty much by the back account, which I think is actually a good incentive to back. Yeah, there will be, if we hit the next stretch goal, I'm going to have to add some more because there won't be any more pages after the £4,000 mark, but there could be more merch maybe. We're going to have to add something cooler because I can see this campaign, just from the trajectory from the first day, we're going to do good numbers with this. I can't wait to get to that point.
Okay. $7,000 or £7,000 stretch goal. Is that what your top one is right now? 7,000 or is it 5,000?
The 4,000 is the highest one I have at the moment.
4,000 highest one you got right now. Okay. £7,000 stretch goal, chromium logo.
Oh, okay.
Turn that into something that's truly raised foil reflective.
That would look very 80s.
Upgrade. Be an upgrade to the cover.
Now,
it doesn't have to be an alternate cover, just an upgrade to what's already there.
Yeah, exactly. It's my first campaign. I'm learning what I'm doing, but I'm just so appreciative of everyone who's put in their money, taking a leap of faith with me. And I can promise this is a book you're going to enjoy. It's just, it's not perfection by any means. You're going to see the learning process in this. You're going to see the mistakes, warts and all, but you're also going to see the really good stuff I've developed into. And you know what? There's a lot of character in this book, and it's going to leave you wanting more. It's going to leave you wanting to read that first full-size Tales issue. So
yes,
I'd be really excited to get this book.
Yeah. All right. Well, Aria, thank you for bringing Tailless onto the channel tonight and sharing it with our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much, dude.
Encourage everybody, if you're watching this on the replay, click the link below to go to Indiegogo and get this one into your in basket. It's a real no-brainer on this one, and it's a real easy campaign to go through. There's not a lot of tiers to pick from. Campaign add-ons are very easy to follow through with. So do check that out.
Oh, I remember one more thing, RJ.
Yes.
We forgot to mention cheap US postage on this because we're going through Critical Blast.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
The shipping on this is not, it's coming from the UK, but guess what? It's going to be, gosh, what is the shipping going to be on this thing? I better look at this. I'll click on through. Here's the book.
I don't remember the number off the top of my head. It's too late. But
too bad.
I remember you sending me the, an example of another book, and we are way below that, $5 or $6 below the average.
Look at that, $11 shipping from the
$11,
UK.
yeah, right.
So, what more could you ask for, folks? You complained for years that these were great books overseas that you couldn't get because you couldn't justify the shipping costs when it was more than the book. We took care of that. That's out of the way. And by the way, I spent 20 minutes last night in the middle of the night on the phone with Australia Post. Guess what we're getting ready to do?
Oh, I can imagine.
we're gearing up to go the other way. So all you folks who've been buying comics made in the US and having to pay that shipping cost out, we're working to bring that down. So if you're in the UK, on paper right now, we can ship to the UK for about $13, as opposed to whatever you're paying now, which I assume is a lot more. We're going to take this thing global, if not worldwide, at least to the major audiences out there. Very cool. So, folks in the chat, thank you for tuning in and checking this out. We don't have a show if you're not here. It's no one would come on and show us their product, and that's why they come on. So that's why I'm going to ask you to please hit the share on this video. Not for my numbers, all for Aria. Get his product out in front of more people. It's always about the guests when we have these shows. Do tune in tomorrow night when we will have Cheryl and Linda Costa on. There's nothing to buy, nothing to plug on this one. Well, there's an Amazon book, but there's not a campaign. They are UFO experts. And of course, this is the big week when disclosure papers are supposed to have been happening in front of Congress, and we find stuff out. If you're a UFO enthusiast, you like to get into the whole conspiracy theory stuff, it should be a fun show. We do the UFO show every couple of months or so with some people who do the documentaries and the books and stuff. So it'll be kind of fun. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then Saturday is our bi-weekly The LCS Guys show, where we talk, with local comic shop owners about what's going on in the industry. And we always try to have a special guest on. We have a special guest lined up for Saturday. If you would like to get in the chat and throw your questions to Bill Willingham, the man behind Fables and his upcoming Batman versus Bigby, or Bigby versus Batman, not sure which way it's going, tune in 8 p.m. Saturday and be there for that. With that, thanks for coming. And as always, we just hope you had a blast.